Am I the asshole? For threatening to tell my husband's sister and her husband about the tracking device he put in her car. Very recently, I found out that my husband had installed a tracking device in his sister's car. He's a mechanic while he was fixing it for her. I confronted him and he refused to tell me what was going on or expand on the situation. His sister and I are close. I threatened him to tell her and her husband, but he lashed out saying that this has nothing to do with me and that I was out of line to get myself involved. He told me it's complicated, that he can't say anything to me now and that I should keep my nose out of it. We had an argument and he started avoiding me, saying there's gonna be an issue if I go through with my threat. Am I the asshole? For threatening to tell her? Should I back off? More context. I was asked to put more context, but I'm not sure what is and isn't relevant. But I found out about the tracking device when I heard him talking on the phone. He said his mom was on the phone and she knew about it, but I doubt it because she's close to my SIL, and also, when he was talking on the phone it didn't sound like he was talking to his mom. His tone was more formal than usual. Not the asshole. It is a huge invasion of privacy for your husband to be tracking his sister's whereabouts without her knowledge. The fact that he won't share the reasoning with you is also a huge red flag. You'd be well within your rights to tell her. Another thing to consider is that if he's putting a tracking device on his sister, is he also doing the same to you? Secret cameras inside the home? It would be worth looking into. Not the asshole. Tell her immediately. And if he's willing to do that to his sister, he's willing to do that to his wife too. Check your stuff. Not the asshole. Holy shit. This is so disturbing and wrong, and he is 1,000,000% hiding something based on his shady response. You need to tell her immediately and also find somewhere safe for yourself to stay. I wouldn't trust being under the same roof as him. Also would bet anything that you have a tracking device on your car too. Noting how you phrased the title, I would bet that her husband approached your husband because he suspects her of cheating. Either way, she needs to know. This is so controlling and wrong. Not the asshole. It's illegal for an ordinary person to install a tracking device on someone's car without their consent. My bigger concern is that your husband threatened you when you pushed him on it. Not the asshole. Get your car checked by a different mechanic just in case. Wow, do I ever need an update to this? Not the asshole. Tell her right away. If he can't give you a valid reason, it makes it super suspicious. Hell no, not the asshole. Not only would I tell the sister, but also probably law enforcement, as that's a blatant breach of her privacy. If he's also a licensed mechanic, he could face penalties. Tell her. This isn't complicated. This is illegal and disgusting. Edit. I don't care if she might be cheating or whatever excuse they will use. Cheating is disgusting too, but if they have to track her, they don't know if she actually is, and even cheaters have rights as a human. Check your own car. Not the asshole. But I worry, does your husband also track you? This is very alarming behavior, and wonder what he might be hiding from you if he's doing this to his sister. 1. If you don't execute your threat, he will never take you seriously. 2. Check your car, phone, and computer. Same for kids with a professional if you don't know how to do it. 3. If it position was reversed, would you like her telling you? 4. Did she told you something that might be slightly off? How did you discover it? Not the asshole. Tell her and check your own car. It's very stalkery. 1. You are not the asshole. 2. Tell her. 3. It's probably illegal, and if you know and don't say anything, you may also get into trouble if it comes out. Check local laws on that. 4. Does he also have a tracker on your car? 5. I honestly would discreetly contact a divorce attorney as a preliminary step, because this all sounds sketchy as hell. How can you trust this guy now? Edit. First and foremost, keep yourself safe. Not sure what your husband is threatening you with. Not the asshole, and take your car elsewhere to have it checked, just in case he installed one on yours. Not the asshole, and check your car for tracking devices. Not the asshole. You need to tell her immediately. You also need to make sure your own vehicle doesn't have a tracking device on it, which it probably does. Get your important papers in order and in a place your husband doesn't know about. Get ready to leave. I'm not sure what he's up to, but it's not legal and he's threatening you that there will be issues. WTF? Get yourself somewhere safe. This is not right or normal. Not the asshole, and you should find out if your own car has a tracker in it, too. This behavior screams controlling, and it's even more suspicious that he won't give you a reason why he's doing it. Inform your SIL immediately. This is against the law. Not the asshole is your husband James Bond or something. What could possibly be so complicated and important that he needed to track them but can't be bothered to explain the situation to you? Not the asshole to tell her. Might want to give the cops a call too. But the bigger question is, how do you trust your husband? WTF, that's so weird, and he's being weird and sketchy about it. You should tell her now, don't just threaten him with it. Unless she's asked him to do something like this, it's wrong that he's done so. She has the right to not have a tracker on her car without her permission. Not the asshole, you need to tell her immediately. Also, there's almost definitely a tracker on your car too. Whatever is going on, low-jacking somebody's car without their consent is not the way to handle your shit. Tell her, then check your car for one as well. And you should check your car out. Then there is the fact that you are now an accomplice to this privacy-violating act. Doubt you will go to jail. But the family can condemn you just as harshly as if you are the one that did it. I would tell Hubs one of two things are going to happen. Either he will explain to me why he did this, or I will explain to Sil that you did this. I would at least want to know whether the reason was even remotely to protect her. Not the asshole. Tell your sister, tell her husband, and for crying out loud, check your own car. If your husband is that twisted that he installed a tracking device on his own sister's car, then you can bet he did it to your car as well. Not the asshole, tell her. She deserves to know she's being tracked or watched and that her own family is behind it. If your husband had a good reason, like being able to find her car if something were to happen to her, he would have said that. This is sketchy as all get out. If my spouse did this, I would immediately tell her and also leave him for my own safety. Not the asshole. In Florida, that's actually a crime. You might want to check your local laws because what he's done is not okay and he may be breaking the law. Then tell him that. He sounds horrible. Not the asshole, but it sounds like your BIL may have asked him to track his sister. I would tell the sister and brace yourself for the storm it will cause. I would also take your car to a different mechanic and have them see if they can locate anything weird on your car as well. Wishing you the best. Not the asshole, but he needs to tell you why. Because if his reason is good enough, then he should be confident that you would agree with it and keep quiet. And if it is not a good enough reason, you can act on it. Him not telling you suggests he either doesn't trust you, or it's not a good enough reason to install the device. It's very weird behavior from your husband. Not the asshole. He's putting you in a very sticky moral dilemma by not telling you why. If he cannot give you a valid reason why his sister is being tracked, she deserves to know. ETA, definitely check your car too. Assume you have a device on your car, too. Ask a mechanic to check that for you. Check your phone and PC too. Make a plan. Be prepared. Then tell your SIL. Not the asshole, and stay safe. Not the asshole. Your husband is an asshole for installing a tracking device on her car, and it's borderline illegal to do so. You should tell your sister about the tracking device ASAP. Not the asshole. You should definitely tell her, and I agree with others that you need to get away from him for your own safety. Also, he is likely tracking you as well. He told me it's complicated. Not really, but it's a crime. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, and just to be clear, you know he put one in your car, too, right? Not the asshole, it's illegal for a starters. I'd also be checking my own car.